Well, okay, so I play poker every like 2 weeks with these friends over the last like 20 years, and they're really great people. And one of the guys, Michael Mendelson, who actually I think he was a minister for the NDP with Bob Ray, a finance minister. Well, actually, Greg Sobera plays at this poker game. Anyway, a cool group of people. Michael once said to me, life can be defined in terms of poker. and it's kind of true in a way. Like you are gambling, and there's risk taking, and I have no idea who, if anybody is going to be interested in this movie or sees the movie that I see, or we can do the best to represent the filmmaker. That's really why we take it on, because we feel like we can be responsible and not just put your ad in, put it in a theater, and that's the end of it. Like we try to actually create a kind of different level of excitement around the film using social media, for example, and groups targeting, all good distributors, just trying to get the audience in to see this movie. And not be so focused on the first weekend, which is unfortunately the kind of the actual game itself. But it's a complete risk, because there's an investment of time and money to release a movie. In my case, I kind of don't, there's no rule of thumb that I've learned. It's, some films, why did Bill Cunningham, for example, Bill Cunningham, New York, which was a documentary about the street fashion photographer Bill Cunningham for the New York Times, why did that movie become a phenomena, where it in Canada has made, I don't know, $300,000-400,000 theatrically. I don't know why Mid-August Lunch did that well, or why Le Havre is doing that well, and why, some other movies aren't. And somehow it has to do with, it's kind of like the way a card turns over. Sometimes you're holding really great cards, but then somebody else has better cards. I don't know if this metaphor is going to really stretch throughout this answer, but the thing is, good cards are good cards. That's what Chris Brett, another player, once said to me. You have to go in with what you just feel. You have to be responsible to the filmmaker and the producers. Ultimately, and treat the film the way I would want to be, or release a movie in the best you can with the resources that you have. Telefilm Canada helps Canadian films. We haven't done many Canadian films, but there was a movie called Beauty Day, and I love this movie, and audiences didn't show up to it. I thought it was like the best Canadian documentary I'd seen in years. And Jay Cheel was, why isn't he part of the Canada's top 10 this year? It's just like, doesn't make any sense to me. Judd Apatow thinks he's brilliant, but, the audiences didn't respond to it here. So I just don't, and even, I don't really care. I guess that's what it is. That's what makes me so dangerous. I really don't care. I think that's what it is. I really, and so it doesn't make money. Whereas people will collapse You know, and I feel for people who like also do things for the wrong motive. Like, why was so much money spent on, you know, some of these movies that should never have score? You know, like what? You know, and so it's when you have the ambition to like be commercial. It's and it's a kind of dream, fantasy, you know, and that, you know, I don't know. You know, anyway. That's not my. It's just like that's not what I do. Other people do it, and you know, and there's lots of casualties for distributors around. I mean, if you look at the history of just distribution, you'll see like all the, you know, the carnage you know, on the roads as you like go down that road. It's just brutal.